According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, the Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
Please transformed into water.
That was for yesterday, and now we're doing her story quest. Everything you say is immortalized forever on YouTube. If you say something about this man's ass, no one will ever forget it. Okay, what ass has he got, by the way? What's up, Catherine? We start with Catherine.
It's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack.
Can I go swimming? I want to go swimming. The more lucrative, the better.
Worth it. For quality work and speedy results, choose Paimon and the Traveler.
I feel like our prices should be hella high at this point, like super high. We've saved multiple nations. We should be charging some real bad. It's like go play with kids in the street and entertain them. Jumping on mushrooms, that should cost a lot.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see.
Yes.
Actually,
With
we
you.
do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. We
just
were
need
just
money.
kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues
gonna act?
and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so
Well, they-
unfortunately they cannot afford to pay
I'll
the
play this
replacement
game.
actress.
It's because they play gotchas. I get it.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job.
So I gotta be an actress? You're telling me I'm not gonna swim today? Frick, man.
There are only a few days left until the
I
performance.
dressed up for this.
If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas?
Guys, also, is it normal that this smells like bleach? Like,
Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
very true.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there.
My man is wide.
Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution.
He's built like
Maybe
a
there's
F4 to
something he hasn't
F-150.
thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
That was a good one by mine.
Paimon approves, let's go!
That dude built like a tank.
Hello there, are you the guy
Four,
looking
truck
for a
'em
new
off.
actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
We were just asking. We didn't even say that. We didn't even say that. We just asked.
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already.
Kind of like we saved the whole entire place.
But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
How much money you lose for one little show, man? Is it that bad?
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group
Oh.
of amateur enthusiasts.
So you guys are bad.
All our sets and
Or
props
new.
are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now,
like it's
it looks
billions or
inevitable
something.
that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
We're splitting up the band.
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
You can't guilt me into trying to act, man. I have diver gear on right now.
One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note.
Characters do this. Yeah, man, this is like our last one ever, and then we're all gonna go die and never see each other again. So like, if we, it's okay if we fail, but
Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
I don't even have Hydra Traveler on. The immersion's ruined.
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a
Okay.
chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
Doesn't it feel like Furina could be perfect for this? That's how it's gonna be her story quest. She's made to be an actress, not a god. That's actually where it's gonna
What
go,
if
isn't
we
it?
sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
10 million?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right
I wanna
asking
give it to
such a
him.
huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Or is it the biggest problem? You need Mora? We got Mora. How do we find someone as good as a fit for the role?
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the part,
Furina!
that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait!
Ding,
What
ding,
about-
ding.
You know who?
Yeah, but she's like in hiding. Bro, imagine going to the previous Hydro Archon that's not the Hydro Archon and had to lie for 500 years to save the people who's trying to rest just for like a little bit and asking her to do a play. 500 years of trauma. Hey, you wanna like...
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now.
Since you're not God
She's
anymore.
really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Do you remember God? Who's not God, but yeah.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
They said something about the public perception being different now about her since all that happened. I'm guessing this is what they mean.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident
Felt
that she'd be
negative
really
response.
good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of
maybe he
big-name shows
liked it.
before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in
Okay.
Fontaine,
It's not a
including
negative.
myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Oh, she's too good. That's what you said. She's too good for us.
Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our
I'll
troupe
talk
has
to her.
probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
But I feel like now we get to see the real... I don't even know who she is. I don't know who the real her is when she's not acting.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty
That's what
anymore.
I'm saying. I don't even know her. I'll go check on her anyways.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news.
Furina, we
luck.
got a job for you. Come on, we're getting you to Broadway,
Where
kid.
does Furina actually live now? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's moved out, right?
She just live in the woods.
As it happens,
Oh.
I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Can you just do that? That doesn't feel very safe, Catherine. You just give out people's address.
Woo! When did you get here?
Catherine, you can't do that.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed.
Okay, number one, eavesdropping. Number two, doxing Furina
It
is
is my
insane.
duty to support commissioners in
insane.
any way I can.
By doxing people?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You doxed Furina Ford F-150 right here.
Oh, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
All right, that's fine. I guess we are friends. It should be fine. The little Oceanid. I've always said Oceanid. I never get Oceanid. Is this her new house?
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here?
It's like an apartment building.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place.
Damn,
It's just,
Paimon.
a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
It sounds a bit poor here. She really live in the slums like this?
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
The voice!
Okay,
Damn.
when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
She's here!
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
She really surviving on macaroni and ramen right now. She got the same kind of life she used to.
I used to have a much wider range
Yeah.
of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
So basically, I'm broke now, and I had no money. Don't you get sick of macaroni every day? We all do because of this gacha.
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Bolognese? Who the hell says bolognese? It's bologna. Duck. What? Is bolognese different? Oh, we're gonna cut that out, right? Anyway, she's coping. Maybe I'm coping too. It's all because you have to do your own cooking now?
How rude. Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity.
There's a little bit of the Furina we know.
It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house.
He sounds very depressed.
So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
She sounds very depressed.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Blubber profiteroles doesn't include blubber beast, right? You're not eating the blubber beast, right?
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
By the way, this is not the time to be frying somebody for their skills.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are
Anyways.
you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
No, you actually did a really good thing, and now we have a job for you on Broadway.
Let me first be clear that
In
I'm
an
not
amateur
taking
group.
guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
There's that original tone.
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad.
Paimon was just showing concern for your well-being. No, she wasn't. Paimon said you don't know how to cook, like a little bitch. Paimon, shut up, man. Some people just like macaroni.
Yeah, exactly. What the traveler said. Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you.
You literally said you don't know how to cook. That is a direct insult.
Hang on a sec. You weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important. Anyways,
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
you're just a person. She's just a person.
Don't worry. It's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
If not you, then no one. You're the person for the job.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now.
My favorite thing about Fontaine is watching the Gardamex just donk walk in the background.
So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
You're gonna be a star, kid. You tell Furina about the troops' plans for its final
I
performance.
see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense.
She thought we came to make fun of her.
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
Then why'd you build it up like that?
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me.
It's like method acting for 500 years.
Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was.
Bro.
Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again.
For another 500 years.
But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
That really does make sense. And we should not force her into acting now.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
I understand you were here for 500 years and you have a lot of trauma, but come on, man. One more?
Whether it's
don't got one
a
more in you?
one-off or not, It's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross.
Accept the boundaries.
If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
I respect that.
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare.
Are we gonna do like auditions now?
Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
No.
Short and to the point. Okay.
We complained about dialogue bloat, and they said, "Okay, we gotcha. We'll stop it. We'll just like remove all the dialogue
I've never
bloat."
been great at maintaining relationships.
Nope.
Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Damn, bro.
Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Bro. Being feels so bad. Now she has like such like extreme expectations of being rejected.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I drew a line in the sand without thinking about every possible grain on the other side.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
We need to stop pressing this woman.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree.
Say
I
it
don't
with your
want
chest.
this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would.
Go off then.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
I'm actually gonna strangle this little flying creature, man. It's okay. Well, everybody's just gonna fucking die now because they don't have jobs, and man, it's just terrible.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now.
Stop!
See you around, Furina.
This is so messed up, man. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave, and they're gonna die.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Okay, bye. I mean, I guess we're gonna go talk to the people who have to tell their kids that they didn't get that last show, and they're gonna spiral into a depression, maybe a drinking problem because of it. Who knows? Maybe Elazar will come back and it'll attack them first. Oh God. Bye, Furina. Bye. Yeah, we're gonna go now. We're gonna talk to all the people you disappointed.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision.
Yeah, we really respected it.
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Maybe.
Huh?
I don't like her
What's going on?
stance.
Are they arguing?
Her stance looks sassy.
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
Oh.
When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Oh.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
I mean, it is the last show ever, man. What the heck?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform.
It's literally one more show.
Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you,
was just
Captain.
dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
She's out. Not gonna work.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see.
Feels bad.
Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Okay, then into the quest. We're done.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine we would manage to convince Furina to join, only for her to find out she's no longer needed. Ugh, that would have been very bad.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
She'd be so sad.
Jeez. Is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
No.
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh?
Paimon's so much more like aware than she used to be, to the point, or like sassy, or like
Despite the fact that we
all
failed
of
to
these
complete
emotions.
the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you.
What she got?
So,
It's not as bad as
are
I
you
was. Are.
absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and
From
it's
Baiju?
working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
It's just one more.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
Aw, they made up.
Well, sounds like the show will go on.
The doctor giving her more meds. Paimon, wait here a second.
Sure.
You mean?
How did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
She's very inconspicuous with her giant blue hat.
All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
That means that, come here. I'm gonna drag you by your hair.
Hello, one and all.
You don't have to do the
I
Archon
couldn't
thing.
help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What
She
are you
followed
doing
all
here?
eavesdropping.
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned. That's all.
She's such a good voice actor.
When you came to talk with me
Actress.
earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down.
She's got very profound emotions.
I'm sorry, Paimon.
Totally
Aww.
fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Paimon was the asshole. Paimon should apologize. What the heck?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you?
In broad daylight, in front of one of the three musketeers too. Damn.
I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
True.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
That's crazy. You're saying that right in front of the lead actress. That is insane.
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine.
I ain't a god no more.
I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put
Got
the shows
money?
on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control.
True.
Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
I'm gonna call she drowned in poisson.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe.
Oh, well.
And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
Act 1.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true
Aw,
culprit was brought to
Shay.
justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
Right?
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Lady.
Can't undo that.
Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life,
Feels
and
bad.
convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
Then you got sick, and then she died.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things.
That was her.
We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart.
Surely Furina gets involved now. She knows everything about all of those.
It's agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Damn.
Oh.
Damn. That's so
What
sad.
a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken.
Man.
I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Oh.
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
That's why this is my favorite character in this game. She is so selfless for the people. She is my Archon.
Furina,
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking
They just
for a
want help.
replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member.
She's gonna get so nitpicky with him. No. Take it from the top. Do it again. Do it again. I don't care if we're halfway through already. I said get your ass back behind the stage and start it from the top.
But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
We're broke.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director.
Bro.
Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epicles is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
A verdict can bring emotional catharsis. They come pouring out and flow away into infinity.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time.
That's a good thing to hear you say. All emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart. It doesn't take 500 years to get it back.
Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as
This is gonna wake
I've
her
never
back up.
witnessed before. And so
Make her
I
her old
should
self.
like to observe, perchance to understand.
still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
I mean, let her have a moment, man. This is ridiculous.
No. This is a completely different
is her moment.
situation.
Let her have a
How's the
moment.
first swine?
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Damn, snap back then.
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Especially since it's related to the serial disappearances case. Yeah, I'll
Thank
do
you
it.
all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are.
I'm actually invested in this
All
so
right,
far.
follow me. We'll go to our usual
good
practice
opening.
space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
It's gonna be a shack. Like a small box in Poisson. It's a humble place. It's cute though. We got instruments and like props.
Lady Furina?
Big fan, big
What's
fan.
Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. as of today, Lady Miss Furina
My
will
homie
be
Furina.
supporting our production of the Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
Hi, I'm the fourth descender.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
I missed
So
that quest.
you
That
were
quest is so
saying
good.
The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director.
Probably gonna be a
One of our greatest regrets is that she
Dealing with
never got
this
to
with
complete it.
Furina.
So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
finding an actress is the least of your problems, but somebody's gonna write this. Who better to write this than one Oceanid
Yeah.
herself?
We've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human. And
All
sure
we
enough,
did.
she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
Somebody pour primordial seawater on her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
She's getting her critiques ready. She's making like little notes in her head. Okay, so let's just like change the whole thing about the girl and her parents. Like take that out. It's cringe.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately,
That's the
this was
beginning.
as far as the director got with her script.
That's the beginning.
We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage.
Ending.
But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
But we need a middle, a close to the end, a climax, an ending.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
How about both?
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment.
There's
We have
nothing
to
wrong with
consider
that.
their emotional stake in this,
There's nothing
not just
wrong.
our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo,
I
who
like
plays
emotions.
the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Bro, you guys are missing another person?
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since.
Okay, we have a lot of issues with this. How could you even say that this was gonna happen? How could you even plan this out, Lawwick?
He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
How is Buddy gonna know what the script is?
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
Get the band back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
It's gonna be cool for her to see. People actually did love
Our
me.
director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Aw. Feels good, man.
Stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way.
She loves this shit. She lives for this. Keep it coming. Come on, a little more.
I suspect the reason they're
More.
dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing.
Yeah.
But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago.
Poisson?
Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Everybody's
But I
dead.
guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Bro, can you believe that Malus and Silver are dead? Can you believe that shit? That's crazy. We live in a world where Malus and Silver are around, and I hate it.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
I hate it.
Poisson.
Croissant. Guilty. Feeling guilt.
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show.
Feels bad, man.
So, allons-y. To Poisson.
Allons-y. Today is gonna be the day.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
One of our depressed friends live here. Who is it? Allô?
It's me. Is the script ready?
It's me.
You came all the way here for that?
He does not seem to have the script ready.
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
We have God right here, and we beat a narwhal up not long
Nice
ago.
try.
We're all
Look,
safe.
just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
I hope it's not trash.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
Okay, Furina.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are.
I'm about to
And
dive in,
Furina,
boys.
too.
Hello.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
She's gonna feel so guilty in front of Navia because of what happened.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll.
What? Why is it so pushy?
Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Oh, yeah. That's I'm oblivious too. They just want to have a private conversation.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet?
I just keep thinking about Malus and Silver, man. They're gone.
We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do.
Thank God she's not holding it over her head.
And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
This is like, if this didn't happen, this one area, it would have been fine. Everything would have been fine.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
To relish in that.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a
Grief.
painful experience is easier said than done.
I like this version of Furina. She's so honest.
Which brings me to why I'm here.
This is the big
I
difference.
thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe.
What do they want her to do? Use a vision? Oh, wait! She doesn't fucking have one!
To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina.
Oh, so it's not the real Furina, gotcha.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect?
It's not
I
Furina,
am
guys.
the
It's just a
courageous
paid
and
actor.
considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all.
Paid actress.
Like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
I love you. Goodbye. Whoa. I like
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Dude. That melted me. I will take care of you. Don't worry, man. All gonna be okay. Lovers. Everybody's like staring at her in the background. Why did you? It's just an actress.
I'm so grateful that Miss Nafia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But
True.
That never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
True.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me.
Words.
Which, of course, I completely understand. And
These people are. I understand why they're upset, but they do know she, like, do they know? They just know that tragedy happened, nobody drowned. They just believe that the prophecy was incorrect. They think the god just left. They have no idea that the Hydro Archon is not really the Hydro Archon.
Yeah, I can tell people are watching me.
I mean, how would they, other than, like, if Charlotte were to report that?
I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful.
Now I kind of get it more.
I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes.
They just know what it is that saved them.
I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
Man, I feel like it would make more of an uproar to just have her not being around.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Liu Wei did get over it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you took yourself taking on a bit too much in one go.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably time we made a move.
They don't know that Nouvelette's the dragon, but they've seen him, like, put down some order on Child before.
How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
We gotta get higher so they don't try to come after us. We're about to get attacked. There's gonna be a mob. Listen, guys, it's me. I can prove I'm an Archon.
Shower me with praise!
Quest spoilers.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
Yeah. That's true.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Instead of the one that's always laughing.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet.
I love her.
I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind.
Yeah, we just need to give her a hug.
One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant.
Damn.
They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
Well, I need a hug after this.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne.
Delivery could not be better.
Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed.
It's
I
insane
have
how
no
many
further use to people.
That's not true. Okay. Yeah, okay, give me a hug now. Now you gotta give me a hug. How many?
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
I have no more use to people. I'm useless.
A reward?
Because now you can finally speak your heart. You don't have to be anguished alone anymore.
I guess so. And back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust.
No choice.
I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know.
Thinking, why do they put the hottest track of all time over top of this? You hear this shit?
That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
She literally meant it.
Could you please get off my case?
That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't know what's gotten into you today.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
You shut the fuck up. Okay, this person's going through stuff, man. Let her talk. Paimon grows on me a lot, but this is one instance I'm like, dude, this character. Paimon meant to say was she doesn't like to see you down. Is that what she meant to say? Is that what she really meant to say?
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands.
I feel so good. She deserves this.
All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
This one conversation with a character might be my favorite of the whole game. It's so honest. It's such a reflection on the last quest that it took so long to do and live through and understand. This whole arc kind of wraps up here for me with her depression, the people she's had to see die. She had to sit on the throne and be like, I have to hear everybody's problems, but okay, I'll take care of that. And then nothing happens and people just continuously get pain and hurt.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Such a vulnerable character. And the one, too, at the beginning of this whole thing where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like this Archon that much. I was like, I might skip this one. I might, pass up on this. She just didn't strike me. Or she struck me as too extra. And I got fooled. How not could top this, I don't know,
Didn't
man.
you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Dang, bro, calling him out for being built like a Ford F-150.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense.
Hey, man, let me have some french
Can you believe
fries.
how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food.
Lawick would never pass on free food.
Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's
Damn.
health I'm worried about, it's yours.
So I don't care.
I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health.
Oh.
And it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Bro, it's like when you get sick and you're grateful to have a body, and then when you just look at people who aren't grateful, you're like, ugh.
Oh no, looks like they're
Can't believe they're
arguing
not taking
again.
advantage of a good life. Is she like terminally ill? For real?
We're back. Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Come on, man! Let people live.
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead.
What is she on today?
Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great. So
Put
you
your
were
differences
discussing your
aside,
characters,
like it's your
right?
business.
We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Bro, maybe Paimon's gonna continue to get more mean and unhinged and like honest as we go through until the very end, where she's just like, "Shut up, Limine, you bitch," and we're like, "Bro, Paimon?"
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to
Yeah,
take
you
the form
are.
of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
He's got too fat the role. Damn, bro, don't hold back. Okay,
Sorry.
The boar is not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's
Big
right.
ass boar.
He has some pretty memorable lines too.
That's
Like when
gonna
he
be a cow.
imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy.
Sasuke.
She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing.
Oh.
It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
It's like I get the perfect person to continue the script.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah,
It's all symbolic.
I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore.
You got sick and your family said, "Nah, I'm okay." Now that's okay.
I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time.
What the hell?
It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes.
Dude, this is too
She
real.
took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
And now she's dead. Or unoceaned.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Dude, parents in Fontaine are terrible. Other than Navi.
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it.
Damn.
One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
My new mom.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
I was so naive when I started this quest. I thought it'd be just cute little group trying to get a hurrah because they like each other. This is a family.
The day you hoped would never come.
Palu!
How times change.
Palu!
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
The god of Archive.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
I pulled out all the stops.
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
What are you doing, Paimon? What is Paimon doing to help?
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story
gonna suck,
unfolds in
isn't
my
it?
version of the script.
We're gonna have to rewrite it, aren't we?
I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together.
Cleo.
In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
So this is a story about human pollution. And we need to recycle.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
That'd be crazy.
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret.
He's like, babe, you're a fish?
The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
Being beat with bats.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
That was beautiful.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the
True to
ending as
life.
true to life as possible.
Not a happy ending, true to life.
What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
All right, Dolphy. Here on some Attack on Titan type shit. Okay.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
So let's put a rumbling
and
in there.
perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
God, Dolphy. I don't know, man. It's realism, I guess. I mean,
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless.
okay. Well, I got very depressed.
On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city.
Huh?
We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
Man.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
Her final act of taking care of them, the orphan.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing.
There's one more guy outside the city.
Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
He's not even in the city.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aurelie.
Bro. He lost his lover. They lost like a parent figure. Wasn't she your mother figure too? No, we didn't get his backstory. Sorry. I don't think he was taken in as an orphan. But the other two are kind of orphaned.
What? You kept that one quiet.
Well, yeah. It's kind of hard to say it after she died.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners.
No! Bro got brothers owned. He got families owned.
Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life.
All right, Mom, I know it's not going to work out now, but maybe later.
And now, that day will never come.
Okay, Palu. The way that he's looking at him right now is hilarious. She was our mom, bro. Like,
Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aurelie. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything.
wait, what?
One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
They didn't explain why Villemont is so, like,
Are you
against
ready to
it.
face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
Well, minus the loving my mother figure part. Yeah, kind
I
of.
certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y.
Allons-y. Let me follow me. Come with me. Let's go. Vimo. Where's Vimo? Vimo. Oh,
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
here we go.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
Just use your powers, Furina. All right, that's right.
Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
They don't know.
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, not gonna be today either.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her powers so it could be converted into indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
In a way.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it
She just
pains
comes out
me,
and says it.
Unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
The way the next frame had her behind the
That sounded
traveler.
so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
I'm like, you're being a real asshole lately, but c'est levé. Though that just doesn't require god level powers. Don't you know any self-defense?
Hey, lay off, all right? My bluff is hanging from a thread here. I'm sorry.
We need to be
I got carried
nicer.
away. Please help us out, would you?
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Me before she was released and Dreams Roar Out.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Paimon does literally nothing. What does she mean, piece of cake? It's just me. It's literally just me right here doing all of this. All right, you guys want to see Furina fight? I got you. Don't worry. I've already pre-watched the quest. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Let my name echo in song. Strike a pose.
Oh. I wasn't on my ult yet. Hello? Hello?
Never.
What the fuck is the freeze? I can't see anything out of these goggles. I should have don't know how much time is left on my ability.
Flicker.
Ah, we still got it. Let's go.
Bravo.
There
Good
we
show.
go.
You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah,
Well.
thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Is this where he lives? You live like this? In a hut?
Vilma, are you there?
Bro, call this a Pizza Hut.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
Hey.
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Come on, man. We're getting the band back together. Dolphy explains the whole sequence of events to
So-
Vimel.
You think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone.
Okay.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show.
Is it that bad?
If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vimel, what did you do? What do you know?
Viamant, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
Huh?
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamant. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone.
It's weird that I loved my mother.
But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show.
Vimel?
The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
He turns around. He's like, bro, you were into mom?
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
Damn.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course,
streaming.
that was nowhere near enough.
It's just like streaming.
We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances.
Like Ghost Lifestyle? Use code Doug, by the way.
It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Oh. The bad juice to make people go bye-bye. Primordial seawater.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
It induces a state of euphoria, but it also can cause significant harm to the body.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration.
Everybody was just like going crazy and died right then and there.
The merchant was furious. berated us for going back on our word and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
What the heck? Just give the stuff he gave back. How does that make sense?
And then
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
So you brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers, and your mistake gave them a motive to kidnap and murder her.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it.
Wow.
Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean? You were afraid. This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her.
Could we, though?
How could you be so stupid?
Damn.
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Malwick, back up!
Yeah,
This is my
listen to
woman,
him.
Mom, I was talking
You need
about.
to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry.
He tried to help, but it went so bad.
I wanted to apologize
I'm
to
sorry.
everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve.
These characters are getting way better voice acting than ever before. The more and more, as further we go, they're just getting better. And better.
In my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Dude, imagine he did right here, just shot him.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you!
God speaking.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
That changed them real quick.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's
She
attention.
knows.
And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe.
The music.
But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside.
Man.
That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating.
Man.
I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Furina can spit.
Yeah.
Like fire, flames, heat, bars. One-liners go crazy.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured?
So true.
But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go.
Dolphy knows.
What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again.
The parallels are amazing.
If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Which I feel like Furina deep down is.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
Genshin characters are so much better than real life human characters or people characters. People just like hear problems and solutions very quickly, and they're like, "Okay, true. You have a point." Human beings are so stubborn; they would never like listen to reason.
I'm truly sorry.
It takes them so long to get over things like this.
I for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
Reprimand is so hard for human beings.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really
Change
matters.
the ending.
When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
It might be possible to find out more about
What
her
do
fate.
you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind,
True.
perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
I hope that we get to see a little bit of maybe like an oceanid popping out the water for Aurelie.
You
at the end.
really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you,
Rehearsal.
head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
See what she left behind, the Palais Mermonia. Probably the first time she's been at the Palais Mermonia since she left, too. The story is just very good now because it's so... Like, I feel like character quests I've been through in the past, even for Archons, aren't as immersive. I don't remember Jean-Lee's and Vinti's being my favorite, but I really liked part 1 of Raiden's. I liked Nahida's. This is like probably my favorite dialogue one so far because it's such a reflection of like what Furina went through, but also in this really non-boring way. It's not a boring story. Even like the Raiden Shogun one, you just walked around a lot and dealt with other people's problems, but this ties right into her character. I understand your request. Wait, what is this? Where's the voicing? Is this a separate quest? All right, let's go see what her belongings are like.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now.
I love Sidine's voice so much.
Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
Let's go.
Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
He's like probably my favorite Melusine. Other than Siege Wing.
This is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this
books.
tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too!
Perfect.
Looks like...
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something.
To whoever
discovers this diary. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women.
Bro.
If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Oh, we didn't have this for that trial?
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
He got what he had coming to him, though. All those women ganged up on him in the whale. And the like little...
I guess Aurelie must have written all of
outside
this
fountain.
down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Uh-oh. Someone else was taken. That makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th. Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching, but what terrifies me even more is that the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I can write no more. I think I have a fever. My stomach troubles have returned, but nobody's given me any medicine. I'm supposed to be more fortunate than Chrissy. The pain never... Wait. I suppose I'm more fortunate than Chrissy. The pain for her keeps her awake all night. Guess that's one of her prison mates. I suppose that anything goes so long as the experimental subjects can be used before they die. It's so damp in here. I have given her my blanket. So cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be reward for hard work. I like to tell them such things, but it is I who is losing my grip. If anyone sees this, troop, safe, I, them, important, farewell. Please apologize. Life, perform, future, regret, Cleo. Ooh. This page, an absolute mess, and the writer's pen seems to have wandered into the surface at random. Only some words can be made out, and barely at that. From this page onward, the diary stops, to be replaced with lyrics from musicals. Some are in the form of newspaper clippings, others are handwritten with many crossing outs and changes. It is apparent that the pages have been referenced often, and that this was the personal notebook of artistic director O'Reilly.
She was so terrified.
In her last moments, she watched a girl get dissolved right in front of her. She's brought back and was witnessing death, torture, descent into madness, trying to keep others afloat when they're all in this room together like, holy shit, what's about to happen?
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human.
She couldn't keep it up.
I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been.
Very dark.
Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Flipping through the notebook, the lyrics continue. However, one page has been torn out, folded up, and placed next to the last blank page. At the bottom of the folded note are 2 lines Aurelia's written, in handwriting much more legible than before. But it seems that they took her both great effort and great deal of time to write. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this what you truly want? Because I am an older sister to them. I love them.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Oh.
You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision, even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come.
It's kind of like somebody else that sat in silence waiting for it.
I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it.
Sounds familiar.
Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Yeah. Pain. The direct parallel between her and the Archon quest, man. After reading through the notebook, some are lost for words, some weep bitterly, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. Long time passes before the group is able to calmly come together and finally make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
Don't you feel like Vilmont would be even more torn apart by hearing that right now? I don't think he can go forward knowing that she was tortured to the last moments.
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director.
If I heard that and I was the one responsible for it, I would have crumbled. For a long time.
I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
I want Furina to be involved in some
Really?
way too.
How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
The emotion's there, Paimon. It's there.
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing.
We need cats.
If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions love, hate, regret, and hope just the most mesmerizing things in this world?
I got it right. Is it the emotions there?
I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
This show better sell out, is all I'm saying.
Then let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Furina is becoming so much more like herself.
Actually,
the more we go.
Before that,
she was so
I'd like
sad
to
on
make a
line
proposal.
1.
During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
She's the one that directed it in a way.
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe.
She's laughing. She's happy again.
All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical
She's
while
found her
I go and
purpose.
procure a stage.
Let's go get a big stage.
Procure a stage?
The Opera Epic.
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be
That's
silly.
for poor people.
For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
The main stage. That's like Madison Square Garden.
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
We need a lot more money.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, that's not what I meant.
More money, like.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Yeah, go big or go home, baby.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
Little stage fright, a little nervous. Mm-hmm. I'm in.
I'll take your silence as a yes.
It was really quiet.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
They all said nothing.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerillette. I know just where to find him.
Working as always.
Hey, look at that.
Well,
Looks
well,
like
well.
I guessed right.
You were just
I'm gonna dive in. She knows him. It's not a guess. She knows him.
I knew you'd be here.
Well, well, well.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler and Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
Well, I brought scuba gear. Do you see my feet?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
Loved his mom
understand.
as a sister.
The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome.
Just say yes, man. I
Given
say
that the
Fontaine.
request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage.
Little Oceanid.
I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean?
She's found her own now.
Do I look excited?
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just
She's
felt
back.
bad about rejecting them.
We're so back.
I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and...
We're not gonna eat macaroni no more.
Here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted
My
to see
queen.
you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
We're about to sell big tickets when she comes back.
Well,
This
if
return
the
goes
Little
crazy.
Ocean, it turns out to be a great success. It will no doubt become
Yeah.
a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role.
But there's already somebody else in the leading role.
It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
So how about we let them perform it one time for the goodbye, and then I just like take over and keep it alive.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions.
How about just one more time?
Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not.
She won't be on the stage anymore.
I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalet.
You are very welcome.
He's so warm. It never gets old seeing how warm he is, man.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The opera Epiclese is booked.
She got that shit done.
Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nervalet was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue.
I don't know who that guy
and
is, by the way.
last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast.
There's one random guy that's never really been introduced.
Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
Also, her. They never introduced them either,
The
but
sooner
their
we
part.
can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse.
They're just there.
Viamal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
I did talk to them when I got here originally,
Look at us. We've come so far.
but they said one line.
I never
They're like,
could have pictured this scene
so
a few
nervous.
days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Furina's still being
Props
a
to
bit
costume
of a drama
people.
queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Palma, you need to shut your mouth, man. Let her enjoy her drama.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
What if they went to perform this thing after everything and they just are really bad?
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
All right, let's see how good it is. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Pointing. That's definitely needed in Fontaine. This is
Cursed
after,
Cleo.
yeah.
She stole the waters of life from us.
Here we go.
She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
Wait, they're kind of cooking.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, a
like
little
a good villain.
Oceanid, and never, ever look back.
I would stand up, but I'm in a wetsuit. You can see all my balls. I don't want to do that right now. But I'll, you know, do an ovation from here. What?
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a
Oh,
fine
it's her.
performance in a long time.
Who's this? I forgot.
If only.
What, you could get on stage?
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Uh-oh, is she gonna get stage fright?
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Oh, no.
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
Oh, no.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
Is it that bad right now?
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
Yeah, too much fried chicken, man.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
Furina, you're up. Understudy.
You... This
Furina's
is a
up.
conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
It's kind of sad that she doesn't get to be the one to honor her, like, you know, caretaker.
Miss Furina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Maybe this is the plan all along. If Furina was gonna have to do it no matter what.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask.
She said, I'm in. I got one more performance in me.
Your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it.
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale.
Oh, let's go.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Let's go.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep.
She knew she'd have to eventually.
No one likes regrets, myself included.
This is honestly what she wants to
Leave
do.
it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart.
Ooh. That's why she's the best, not Archon character in the game. She's just too pure.
Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this
My
world.
goat right there.
Well said.
Cheeto.
I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Here we go. Everybody, put in your diving gear. Here we go. Furina is on stage. Let's see what we got. Hopefully we don't drown.
Is she here yet?
Let's get here.
It's gonna be a musical too, right?
She's not coming.
You're wrong. She's here.
Damn. There she is.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, oh chère mère?
the fridge too.
Nos vies, et la cité, elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
Her voice is so perfect to the role. Oh my god.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Put your goggles back on, we're gonna drown. Ah!
L'amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire.
Oh my god.
Douce et amour.
Oh!
Je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté. Et
That's my Archon right there.
jamais.
The way she looks back. That's where she gets it! She got it! No shot! She got her vision! During the performance, man. She's full on hydro now. Masterful end right there. Perfect reveal for her to get her Hydron and be. She can actually be an Archon now. I mean, or just like a person pretending to be one still and have power.
Is it just me?
Stand
Who was
up.
that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
Stand up.
She hasn't been
Is that
seen for
just
a
me?
while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
That was a beautiful song.
The Little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
I got chills. Or my hair standing up.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
We're honoring somebody, Valius.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me.
Yeah, nobody would recognize the bright blue hair and over-the-top outfit.
It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
We're so back. We're so back.
Finally, we would like to give a special
opened the back
thanks to our
door.
artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
There it is.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Don't care, you're in the limelight now.
Oh, so it
Oh.
was Furina after all.
She's back!
She's so bad.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
Dude, we are so back. Welcome home.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied
Look,
on a
she has her vision on now.
basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's just there. Is she not like acknowledging this? This is big.
It's no big deal.
Does she know she has this? At most, you might be asked to sign a few autographs.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
So you try being famous, traveler. I kind of am.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show?
You have a vision.
I'm on a heart attack.
You got a vision.
Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that.
Did she not notice this either?
I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't
This
it?
is not casual, by the way. This is something to freak out about.
I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Dolphy just dies.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went.
It went off without a
If
hitch.
nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
You ever wonder what that NPC is doing? What are they actually cleaning? How is she doing? Oh. She's alive. She's not dead. That's good.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
Give her a snorkel. She'll be okay.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
I got a vision.
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
I bet they could probably keep this show going with the original crew if they really wanted to now, because it's so big.
Don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition.
Yeah, all of this comes after the Archon quest, so this is still Nivelette giving it out post Gnosis.
Even though you couldn't see it through to the final
He's
scene,
sovereign. He doesn't need
the
it for his full
audience
power.
was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
He might got for real.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Or maybe if you didn't get KFC twice a week, you wouldn't be as big as you are, buddy. But come at me with something else next.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
I do. Let me at him.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
All of these guys argue with each other. Every one of them. How's that thing I feel about the whole murder thing?
Any plans for the next step?
That was the disbandment, but
After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and
Keep
license
it
out
going.
the little Oceanit to
One
the bigger
more.
theater troops out there.
Yeah.
That would do wonders for your financial situation.
his guilt consuming him about continuing though.
No, we should still disband.
It's time.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
They're not a family anymore.
Hey, don't just walk off!
No more family.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe.
He ain't done
After
yet.
watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
That was like the prettiest French song ever.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
She just end up dying?
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order.
These guys.
I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
I feel like now she has the authority to go back to the courtroom with a vision.
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go until I finally acquiesce.
Acquiesce.
You rather sealed my fate there
Her
with your
words were like
special
water.
thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I'd previously imagined.
This whole quest gave her her life back.
Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself.
The real her.
So maybe the show will go on for me after all.
A part 2 for Furina would go hard to see how much further she's come eventually. There's no need to draw lines in the sand, just do what it feels right.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them.
She can start a therapy company, maybe.
I want to watch them blossom
0.5 or
and
6,
wither.
4 patches after
See
the
them
release.
refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future.
We still got a lot of Fontaine left to go through.
I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Next time I'll invite you to join me.
Then it's a deal.
Why do people happy? Real laugh, true laugh.
If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
A gift from a dragon god. That's for sure. And somebody said something really interesting. That's why the Traveler has very similar attacks and stuff to Neuvillette. If he's able to do this kind of thing, that makes complete sense. That was a great quest, man. I want to talk to her one more time before we go.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power.
And finally, we got it.
And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands.
She's actually strong.
Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Originally, Oceanid turned human, turned prisoner, turned human again with depression, turned actual human with ability and powers and happiness. Good ending. W ending.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, the show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to O'Reilly.
To your sister lover. Very good ending. And you know what? To end it out, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a C1 Furina. Just with this one pull. Because why not? Just kidding. I hate everything. Subscribe. Come to the stream. We've been here for a long time. We're going to be here for a lot longer time. Come on by and let's see what happens. Okay, bye.